back. Today I am at a contracted job I do, and it is to clean a 3-level parking garage. Each floor is about 10,000 square feet, and I will only say that pine trees are the bane of my existence. Yeah, these things, it's been pretty bad this year with the pine needles, and now the oak leaves are starting to fall. Get a bunch of acorns, and we've had a couple storms, so pine needles are everywhere. Usually more up against the wall over here, and they're on the other side too. Not as bad, but because the trees aren't right there, it's like we got a pretty good pile of stuff. So to pick all of this debris up, I have a backpack blower and what they call a Billy Goat, and I'll show that to you guys. Sorry for the wind. I'm going to walk down towards the other end here. Looks like this week the pine needles made it all the way down here. I don't remember us getting a bunch of rain, but it usually happens the day after, 2 days after I clean this place. The storm will move through and just do it all over again. As you can see, a bunch of them piled up over here. Then we have the exit and entrance ramps. There's one on each side of the garage, east and west side. One from the first level up to the second level, and then again from the second level up to the third level. You can see there's all these oak trees mixed in with pine trees, and end up with this mess. And what I'll usually do is take the blower and blow it all to one side, and I can just take the Billy Goat up and run it. But with so many here, so many pine needles, what I'll end up doing probably is picking a bunch up by hand and get them out of the way, because the bag of the Billy Goat will be full in no time from all of that. And I apologize, it's dark, but what will happen is everything blows down, especially the leaves will blow down the ramps. They'll end up over here, and then they'll end up down in the middle. Same thing on the first floor. Right now this is the second level, and on the first level right now there's no cars, but there will be probably by 8 or 9 o'clock. So I'll have to work around those, but there's still quite a bit of stuff over here. And what I'll do is blow everything over up against the wall and just run my Billy Goat over there. Some people say, why not get a street sweeper vacuum truck? Well, the problem is that you would have to get one that was low enough. I don't know if they are. And also, that's a big expense, for doing this twice a month. Spend, even on a used one, be pretty expensive, and then having to dump it, take it somewhere to dump it. It's really not really worth it, in my opinion. A little bit more physical labor, depending on the mess. It's 5 to 6 hours plus the time to get here and go back and clean up and dump everything. And over there's a stairwell. Usually blow that out. It doesn't get too bad. Now last year we had a couple hurricanes come through, and this place was an absolute mess. The building actually lost its roof. So it blew down onto the grounds. So I was paid to come clean that up. I had to hire a couple people to do that. Luckily I had invested in a dump trailer, so it came in handy. Unfortunately, the hurricane wasn't severe enough to knock out these pine trees. I think the other trees around them kind of protected them between the oak trees and the palm trees, because they usually snap like twigs during hurricanes. I thought they would be a lot stronger than that, but I learned after Hurricane Michael, they don't. Like I said, they'll snap like matchsticks. This is the other ramp going up and down. And again, it's got a lot of pine needles on it. Starting to get the oak leaves. Also get a lot of pine cones. Earlier in the year, when the pine cones, before they actually drop and expand, and they're just actually all closed up, apparently squirrels like to eat them, because they will shred those things, and that stuff is everywhere. I don't know if they actually eat the pine cone, but they definitely shred them to get to whatever's in there. So this is my Billy Goat. Had it for a couple of years, so it's got some wear and tear on it. It's got a Briggs & Stratton 1900cc motor on it. I don't know the horsepower. There isn't a thing for an attachment. There's a hose you can attach on there, like a big vacuum hose. It's a little over a $300 option, so I didn't get it because I really don't need it. I do wish they would take the exhaust and point it up, because it actually blows on stuff. Of course, this, you know, if you're in a yard or something, it's probably not a big deal. The front wheels I actually just replaced not long ago. They're already getting worn out. Again, if you're on a softer surface, that's probably not going to be an issue, but they're about $70 a piece for the wheels. And the bags do wear out. The bag's a little over $200. They'll start, it's where it folds together, it'll start blowing stuff out of there. At times I'll just tape it until I get another bag for it. It does have self-propelled, which isn't working right now. There's something going on with the cable down into the mechanism that's under here. You can see I lost one of the screws, of course. Got your throttle. It does have a manual choke, so I usually turn that on, full throttle, pull it. Usually starts on the first pull, and then, you know, down here I got to turn the choke off right away. Fuel, air filter. Keep those on hand, especially in dusty areas. They do get dirty pretty quickly. Not very expensive, but they it's like a triangular shaped air filter with foam around it. You can adjust the height for your vacuum, and you can see I've lost stuff, and that's from going up against the walls of the parking garage. Same with this stuff here, it gets scraped up. These are not inexpensive. I want to say $1,800 to $2,400. I'd have to look it up, but it works really well, pretty fuel efficient. It doesn't hold a lot of gas, which is kind of nice, and it does last pretty long. I can usually do the entire level plus the ramps on a tank of fuel, and that's at full throttle. They are loud, so you may want to wear hearing protection. And I also wear a face gaiter just because of dust, and especially you can see, I mean, these bags come bright white, or they're white when they're new, and that's just dust, and dust will filter out of there. You don't want to be breathing that stuff in. The other piece of equipment I have is a blower, backpack blower. When I started out, it was just a little blower vac with a little tiny bag on it. Man, that took forever. Then I went to I was going to get the bigger blower at first, but I was worried about cars here, it blowing debris. But once I got more used to using the backpack blower, I went ahead and got the bigger one. And it's an Echo. You can see the model number, series numbers on there. I forget what the CFM is. It's pretty strong, and when you run it, it sounds like a small dirt bike engine. And it's got the bigger nozzle. So it's a pretty good size nozzle, and it does move a lot of air. The weird thing is, you get some of these leaves, you can get right up on them and they won't move, but you know they got to the position they're in with a little puff of air, and they went like 50 feet. But this thing put like a whole lot of air on them. They're stubborn. They don't want to move, and that has nothing to do with the blower. That's just where the leaf is at. You got to try to get them. And this is where the air filter would be for this. And the little pump is under here. This is the choke. Goes the spark plugs here, hole here, and fuel, which I use True Fuel 50-to-1 mix, ethanol free. That's important on any kind of small engines. Even this is ethanol free. I think I get it from Wawa. Don't want to leave regular gas sitting in anything too long, because it'll mess up your carburetor. And I have a pressure washer, and I have a wind generator that I'll review later. And same thing, I use ethanol free fuel, but on those you can actually run the carburetors dry, so the gas isn't sitting in there, which is something you want to do, definitely. Well, time to get started, and I'll show you guys what it looks like once I get this third level cleaned up. Alright, so I got like a bag and a quarter of pine needles, and that's just from along here and the east ramp. I didn't even do the west ramp. I don't think I'm going to do it by hand. I'm just going to use the blower. You know, it's first weekend in November, second weekend or something, and it's going to be about 87 degrees today. Welcome to sunny Florida, where it never cools off. Especially, seems like every time I get ready to do this garage, you know, the cooler weather this time of year will break and it gets hot, and then after I finish, a day or two later, it'll rain and put everything back the way it was. I guess that's job security. At the same time, it's a little annoying, but not to be negative. So the next thing I'm going to do is going to just take the blower, blow all the pine needles and debris up against the wall. And something I didn't mention earlier about the Billy Goat, it does not like acorns. It'll suck some up, but if you stop, it spits them out. I don't know why. I don't know, it has something to do with the impellers. There's definitely enough vacuum to suck stuff up. So what I'll probably do is, again, blow the acorns up against the wall and then into a little pile, and take the shovel, pick them up. And one of these days I am going to be trimming these trees or get somebody to do it. I just got to talk with the building manager, the property manager, and see if she would approve that being done. I'll have to get an estimate. Make life a little bit easier. And as I mentioned before, I think because we didn't have a hurricane this year to blow all this dead debris off, it's falling this year. And the year before it didn't even seem as bad, but this year, man, these pine needles are something else. Alright, so I've got everything blown up against the walls on both ramps all around the third level here. You can see it doesn't look as cluttered, and I'll just get the rest of it with Billy Goat and it will be nice and clean. And this is how much fuel I used. It was about up here, so almost half a tank fuel. It was a lot of blowing debris, and the pine needles, a lot of them get sap on them and they actually will stick to the ground, and sometimes the blower will move them, sometimes they don't, so I actually have to physically move it with my foot to get the sap to break loose. So I'll take another video after I'm done up here on the third level, and then we get to move on to the second and first. I finally finished the third level. It's taken me almost 4 hours, which is unprecedented, and it's kind of, the wind's starting to pick up, so there's going to be more stuff blowing down, but as you can see, pretty much difference. I didn't worry about showing on the video how to empty the Billy Goat bag. It's just basically gotta set it in a garbage bag and undo these clips and unfold it and drop it into the bag. It can be kind of tricky, but 2 full bags, mostly pine needles, just from this third level. I'm gonna take a short break, move the truck down to the second level, and try to get this job done today. Alright, break time's over. Time to get back to it. Starting on the second level, and it will look like it's clean. I've already blown a bunch of stuff up over here, but the leaves will congregate in down there, and you can't really see them until you actually take the blower to them. You'll be like, whoa, where did they all come from? So they kind of camouflage themselves. And of course I'll have to do the ramps. I don't think you can see it on this camera, but there's a bunch of stuff piled up over there already. And then of course the other ramp going down. So yep, and I'll have to go around that car. And there'll be a lot more cars down on the first level. I guess one of the businesses has their workers coming in on Saturdays, I guess from the end of October through November, for whatever reason, some kind of call center. Alright, well, I need to get to it. It's already getting late. That third level took forever, so I'll try to get this done. Alright, I'm done for the day. You see several cars down here. I got most of it clean except back over there. There's just too many cars. And I think what I'll do next time, a couple weeks when I come out, none of these cars are here, so I'll clean that first. I usually try to get the third level done first, simply because it gets hot out, but I'm not gonna have a choice. That's just too many vehicles in the way, and it's kind of dirty. There's a lot of leaves that blew in. I think we had a storm maybe a couple weeks ago. I don't remember, but I know it has been windy. That's my day of work at my small business, and I will put on my seatbelt. So that's my day of work at my small business. I'll just make an excerpt, or whatever they call it, to show, just going over some small business ideas. I am by no means rich or very successful, but just some advice if you're looking to make a little extra money, or if you want to work for yourself. I do not make enough doing this to pay all my bills. It just helps. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. You can like and subscribe. That would be even better. Help the channel grow. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.